Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kaimin, and I'm a student with the Lee Kong Chian School of Business.
And I'm Sharon, also from the School of Business. Together, the two of us will be your MCs for our graduation ceremony today. As our session will begin very shortly, may we request that all mobile phones and beeping devices be turned off or switched to the silent mode.
Also, please remain seated throughout the ceremony, only except when the national anthem is being played.
May we request that you do not use any flash photography during the ceremony, as doing so may risk overexposing the photographs taken by our professional photographer.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Grand Processional. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of Singapore.
Thank you.
Guest of honor, Mr. David Connor, member of the Lee Kong Chian School of Business Advisory Board, SMU President, Professor Arnett de Meyer, senior management and faculty, parents and loved ones, the graduating class of 2012, for the Lee Kong Chian School of Business, ladies and gentlemen, today we are gathered here to celebrate the finale of a long but exciting story started some 4 to 5 years ago by all of us graduates. Class of 2012, Today, we celebrate the closing chapter of our SMU story.
As we turn the pages of the book of our SMU life, let us recall the choices we made, relive our days of wine and quizzes, review our triumphs, and regret our losses. Remember our friendships and renew our bond with our university and with each other.
We may wonder at how the same gangly, wide-eyed youths of yesteryear have morphed into the confident movers and shakers of tomorrow that we see sitting amongst us here today.
And speaking of which, our next speaker is the epitome of refinement and maturity. Please welcome the current chief writer of the SMU story, the president of our university, Professor Arnold De Meyer.
Guest of honor, Mr. David Connor, Director of the Overseas Chinese Banking Corporation Limited, Dean Howard Thomas, distinguished guests, colleagues, family members, and of course, most important of all, members of the class of 2012. A good afternoon. I'm happy that I was called refined and mature. I guess what they mean, I was old, but anyway. It's for me a great pleasure to be here to share the joy of our Lee Kong Chian School of Business graduates and their families here present. To our graduates today, this is a very important moment, a significant moment, because it's an exhilarating period of your life that is actually closing. But let's not forget that maybe an even more exciting period is going to start today, because what you have achieved so far is great. But let's not forget that the ceremony that we have today is called a commencement, i.e. it's the beginning of something. And you would think after 4 or 5 years of study that it's finally finished. No, it is all going to start today, because you've lived 24 odd years or something like that. There's probably twice as many to come in your professional life. So you start today a big new chapter in your life, and I also think that deserves some celebration. Now remember, just 4 years ago, you were sitting in a gathering like this one, be it without the gowns and the mortarboards on your head, at Convocation 2008, after your freshman team building camp, of which you just saw a few video clips. Even though we know that SMU's rigorous admissions process, with interviews, favors the more dynamic and confident applicants, you were all far more timid and unsure of yourselves than you are today. Now, you weren't going to tell me you can't know that, President, because you were not here 4 years ago. But I went a week ago. I had the opportunity to go to the freshman team building camp of the incoming graduates, and they look very different from what you look like today. As many of you have mentioned to me and to your dean and faculty, SMU has helped to create a more confident and articulate you with, I hope, a deep-rooted sense of ethics and social responsibility. And I think that all of you sitting there will agree with me, and I hope that the parents will agree with me too, that SMU has been a truly transformational experience for our graduates. Indeed, your journey through SMU would have given you many valuable opportunities, and I trust you made good use of them to give yourself what is one of the most enriching experiences that you could have had. You had the chance to see and know the world, as global exposure is a hallmark of the SMU education. And many of you spend a semester in a partner university for overseas exchange. You have also experienced internships, be it here in Singapore or overseas, community service projects, business study missions, and I hope you've taken part in overseas and local cultural programs and core curricular activities. I truly hope that during your time with us, you seize the opportunities to learn, to experience, and to give back. But I hope that the learning will not stop today. I hope that we also have given you a spirit of continuous learning, because what is perhaps true yesterday may have changed tomorrow, and there is a need of continuously learning and listening to what's happening in your environment. I hope also that the knowledge we shared with you, be it tacit knowledge through all the experiences and the project work, etc., or the explicit knowledge that you got from the faculty in classroom, that at some moment in time you will be able not only to apply that, but also build up some wisdom, transform it in wisdom. I also have to acknowledge the group that is sitting here at my right side and in front of me, the parents, the grandparents, the siblings, the girl and the boyfriends. You have played a very important role in these graduates' journey, in their achievement today. For the parents, when you see your son or daughter walking up here and getting the degree, you must think, I've delivered. I got the return on my investment. We're a business school after all, right? Yeah. And I know it has been a big investment in time, and maybe over the last few years you didn't see your son or daughter that often, because I know that they spent quite a lot of time in the evenings at SMU, came home late, maybe sometimes didn't come home, were still sleeping when you were in the morning going back to the job, had to leave the food on the table, but I can guarantee you, most of them, most of the time, were working hard. There was some fun too, from time to time. But I really want to congratulate you on what you will see today here happening, i.e. the graduation of your family, of your son or daughter as a grandson or granddaughter, or boy or girlfriend. Now, back to the graduates. With commencement, our graduates now join the ranks of nearly 10,000 alumni. We are a young university. We exist 12 years, and this is our 8th commencement ceremony. But we already have 10,000 people out there, or more than 10,000 people out there, that share the values of SMU, that carry the flag for SMU. I really encourage you to stay connected with each other and with the school. Now, I spent some time yesterday at the graduate festivities yesterday evening, and I could feel there was a very good spirit already for the alumni. Maybe some have still a headache of the celebrations yesterday. But the friendships you have formed and nurtured here will be with you for a long time to come. And I also want to thank all of you who have kept up the SMU tradition of contributing collectively to a graduating class scholarship. The level of giving for a young university like ours is truly unprecedented. Your contributions will enable needy students to enjoy the SMU education you had, and we truly appreciate your generosity. Now, we know from experience that 100% or close to 100% of every batch of graduates will get employment. But we wouldn't have done our job as a university if the world you step into doesn't benefit from what you bring to it, not only in terms of knowledge that you can use in your professional life, but also in terms of values that you expose. We're a different you, and I hope that you will keep on exposing these differences. I urge all of you to carry our circle values of commitment, integrity, taking responsibility, collegiality, leadership, and above all, perhaps excellence in what you do, that you take those values wherever you go. Because they are truly an integral part of our SMU's holistic approach to education. We've always emphasized not only the training of graduates intellectually, but also the nurturing of graduates with a heart. Each year at the commencement ceremony, the university recognizes students who have embraced these values with the Circle Awards. And we did that at the opening ceremony of this series of commencement activities. We did that on Wednesday when we celebrated the 12 winners. These winners have been actively involved in serving and giving back to SMU and the community at large. They have demonstrated leadership abilities, are upright in character, and well respected by their peers, by the staff and the faculty. They're truly role models for the generations of students to come. And I'd hope that most of you will be aware that your School of Business peers, Wong Jianhui and Isaac Chua Chiarong, both received Circle Awards this year in recognition of their good character and remarkable deeds. And although they got the award on Wednesday, I hope that you will join me in just giving them a warm applause for all their achievements. I know that our ability as a university to mold individuals like them impresses greatly the business people that work with us in the different advisory boards and the boards of trustees of the university, and also all the recruiters. In particular, I know that our guest of honor here this afternoon, Mr. David Connor, Director of OCBC, is impressed what we can try to do with our alumni. He will address us shortly. David is a very strong supporter of the LKCB, of the business school. He joined OCBC as a Group Chief Executive Officer and CEO and Director in 2002 and was elected to the board in 2010. He stepped down as Group CEO this year, but continues to serve as a non-executive director. He has a long list of achievements, but I pick a few. He has served as Chairman of the Corporate Governance Council of the Monetary Authority of Singapore and is a member of the Council of the Association of Banks in Singapore, the Malaysia-Singapore Business Council, and the FNext Council of the Institute of Banking and Finance. Now, prior to joining OCBC here in Singapore, David worked for over 25 years with Citibank in various roles, including country corporate officer in Singapore, managing director and market manager in Japan, and CEO in India. Currently, David is also on the board of the Singapore Olympic Foundation, so I guess that I know what he will do this night. Watch TV. And the advisory board of the Lee Kong Chian School of Business. He's a trustee of Washington University in St. Louis, where he also serves as chairman of the university's International Advisory Council for Asia. I'm very glad that he has accepted to join us today as the guest of honor and give you an insight in his thinking, because he can be really a role model for many of you who are graduating today. I also want to thank him for his commitment to the Lee Kong Chian School of Business, because his wise advice over the years has helped us tremendously. Now, at the end here, I have two wishes. First of all, I wish you all the best. I congratulate you really in the warmest way, in a very heartfelt way, because you have achieved a lot and you have come at the end of a long journey. But I also have another wish, and that is the wish that the pride we have in you as students, that we will be equally proud of you as alumni. And as alumni, I hope, as I already said yesterday to some of you, that you will make a difference. We're a different you. We're a different university. I hope that you will be different alumni, and as different alumni, make a big impression on the world as a future generation of good leaders. I wish you all the best in your professional and private life. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor De Meyer, for your inspiring preface.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard the chief scribe of our SMU story, but no story would be complete without a bunch of brave and intrepid characters. And what a courageous cohort we have here today.
To choose this David of a startup university against the then dominant Goliaths in tertiary education. What bravery!
What risk-taking!
What were we thinking?
Well, let's hear from the horse's mouth.
My story began when I was attracted to the new environment that SMU could offer.
Honestly, I was pretty clueless what I wanted to do in my life, but then I guess SMU offered me a dynamic environment for me to discover myself.
I I heard a lot about SMU being a very different school, about the many opportunities on offer, so SMU was my first choice.
Well, it was between NTU Men's Com and SMU. Funnily enough, I didn't consider NUS even though it was nearest to my house.
SMU was the only uni to make me go through an interview, and I felt that they were more serious in getting to know me.
It seemed like the happening place to be. I didn't want to stay cooped up, studying in a classroom. I wanted to have a life.
I remember SMU's marketing collaterals and ads were a lot more attractive than NTU or NUS.
I went online to check out the CCAs that SMU had to offer, and when I stumbled across some videos of Caderas Latinas, that really motivated me to join SMU.
SMU represented the ideal change agent I was looking for.
Coming from a not so well-to-do family, I needed a scholarship.
After I finished my high school in Myanmar, I chose to come to Singapore.
I left Vietnam for better education and to experience a multicultural environment.
My story with SMU began with an earthquake that broke all the international cables and killed my applications to American colleges. But I didn't give up. That's when SMU came to my rescue.
I was curious to find out if law was the right route for me.
Well, I was originally intending to do computer science at NUS, but my father convinced me to apply for SMU.
I don't like to be taught in a huge lecture theatre. That's why I chose SMU.
I chose SMU because of its location, its crazy student life, as well as its top-tier international exchange opportunities.
During my NS days, I found out more about SMU, and I think because of its small class size, it's actually better for me.
Choosing between NTU and SMU was a no-brainer. My seniors spoke very highly of SMU.
So Sharon, do you remember why you chose SMU?
Definitely. I chose SMU because of its holistic education, its small and interactive classrooms, and of course, to find myself in a different you. What about you, Kaimin?
Well, all of the above, Sharon, plus the fact that it's really near the malls, and that is crazy important. But next up, here's someone who has chosen to contribute to our story today. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our guest of honor, Mr. David Connor.
President Arnold de Meer, Dean Howard Thomas, distinguished faculty and administrators, ladies and gentlemen, and most of all, graduating students, good afternoon. It's a tremendous pleasure for me to be here with you this afternoon. It's my first time speaking at a commencement ceremony, and I'm deeply honored. First off, I must thank Dean Thomas for his courage in inviting a banker to speak this year. After all, bankers around the world are not held in great esteem these days. And I'm not even referring to the global financial crisis. In just the past few weeks, we've had the JP Morgan Chase tempest in a teapot trading position, which led to close to $6 billion in losses. Then the LIBOR fixing scandal broke, with Barclays paying a pound sterling 290 million fine and Bob Diamond, the CEO, resigning. This was followed by HSBC being castigated by the United States Senate for money laundering. And as if that weren't enough, Peregrine Securities in the United States was found to be rife with fraud, and some $200 million of client funds have gone missing. It's gotten so bad that I decided to grow a beard so people wouldn't recognize me as a banker or even as a retired banker. So Dean Thomas asked me to take a few minutes and pass on some inspiring words to you all. Well, perhaps I should really keep my remarks short and sweet, and by advising you to steer clear of banking and then just sit down. I certainly couldn't go wrong there, could I? Jokes aside, I'm going to copy a device used by Ambassador Tommy Koh quite often when he gives a speech. He says that his wife always advises him to make just 3 points and move on. Now, I believe in his disciplined approach, and I find him a gifted and eloquent speaker. So I'm going to try to just make 3 points for you all to ponder. I call these action, real value, and purpose. Okay, let's get into it. By action, I mean thinking in terms of active verbs, not state of being verbs. So much of what we hear people say about careers is along the lines of, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer, or I want to be a businessman. Think about it. Those verbs are about a state of being. In my view, what's more important is thinking in terms of the activities involved in different professions. So it's much more healthy and realistic to say, I want to practice medicine, or I want to practice law, or I want to build a business. This is what, in my view, is key to true satisfaction in life, doing what one enjoys day in and day out. Being a member of some profession can impress your friends or family, but if you don't enjoy the daily action, doing what the profession is all about, you could wind up being very unhappy. My nephew is a good example. He wanted to be a lawyer for many, many years, and even worked as a legal assistant in a law firm before borrowing a lot of money to go to law school. He wanted a big office, to wear nice clothes, and make lots of money. Then when he actually started practicing law in a firm in Manhattan and an office on the 40th floor, he belatedly discovered he hated practicing law. Drafting loan agreements again and again was a real drag to him, and he has suffered for many years doing what he really doesn't like doing. Well, he recently made partners, so I guess he came through in the end. For myself, I wasn't so keen on being a banker, not just because there are so many scandals about bankers these days, but I love financing businesses that succeed, individuals who move on in their lives, and I love running a business, building a business in a vibrant organization that happens to be a bank. It's a blast. So my first point is that you should focus on what you will be doing in your career, not what you will be in life. The state of being is what impresses others, and I've known too many young Singaporeans who take on jobs they really don't like just to impress their friends. My advice is to steer in the direction of the activities that you enjoy, not what others want to frame you to be. My second point stems from my first, that is, real value is not in the possession of a good, but in its utility, in its use. To repeat my first point, possessing something is a state of being, whereas its use is about action, referring to active, not passive verbs. I submit that just owning something only gives fleeting pleasure, while using that same something can give endless pleasure. Take an iPad or an iPhone as an example. Of course, it's really cool to own the latest iPad, no doubt. But the real value in an iPad is the fact that it begs to be used, to be touched, to be stroked, prodded, connected, and loaded up with all sorts of apps. Are you with me? Apple knows this, and their product designs are fascinating and extremely popular because people love to use them, to connect with the web and thereby the world, and that makes them cool to own too. Let's shift to cars for a minute. Sure, it's no doubt cool to own a Maserati or a Lamborghini or a Ferrari, but I submit that you will only be able to impress your friends for a short time by the fact that you own something expensive. At the same time, you will have to deal with the high maintenance costs, the worry about going over a speed bump too fast such that you damage the underside, and the very real fear that someone will open their door too quickly and dent your prized possession in a parking lot. And that's not to mention the fact that the cops are all out to get you for speeding too. Trust me, these are hassles that are not worth suffering unless somehow you get real value out of driving that sort of expensive, high-performance automobile. And where in Singapore would you get such value? My Volvo tells me my average speed around Singapore is 18 or 19 kilometers an hour. And I fully admit I work hard to drive above the speed limit. Still, I certainly recognize that some supercar owners do head up to Sepang, the speedway in Kuala Lumpur, to get the inherent utility out of their cars, and that's fine in my book. But you get my point. What's important is in owning things is using them, not trying to impress your friends by pointlessly spending money. Okay, and now on to my third point, purpose. One of my mentors many years ago once said to me that life is not really short, it's a long horse race. To me, that was quite profound. Think about it. You're all in your early 20s now, and your working career is likely to be at least 30, if not 40 years. Yes, it's going to be a long time. If you go through that time just trying to impress others by making a lot of money so you can own a lot of things you don't use, or by taking the latest popular job in the hottest industry of the day, or some such endeavor, I submit that you may not be very satisfied with your life in the end. I believe it is much more important to have a purpose that can guide you in life, underpinning your daily efforts and supporting your career moves in the long run. For me, my purpose has been to work in and for the developing world to further the development of poor and underdeveloped countries. That stemmed from my Peace Corps days in a remote village in Nepal, where there were no roads, there was no electricity, and no running water. Spending a year as a high school math science teacher among subsistence farmers showed me a different real world, and I came away with my purpose to further development in the underdeveloped countries. And that purpose has carried me forward for 40 years through business school, where I concentrated in international business and finance, joining Citibank to work in their emerging markets business, and finally in OCBC, where I've been able to combine the joy of living in Singapore with working for OCBC and actively investing in expanding the business in Malaysia, Indonesia, China, Vietnam, and now Myanmar. In short, I've been able to pursue my purpose all throughout my career, deriving a great deal of satisfaction throughout. Now, I want to make it clear that when I suggest it's rewarding to have a purpose in life, I'm not necessarily pointing anyone in the direction of altruistic or charitable pursuits. It's fine to want to further the accounting profession, or build a business as an entrepreneur, or simply run a restaurant. The choice of purpose has to be made by you as an individual. My basic point is that with a purpose in life, one can gain a great deal of satisfaction in one's accomplishments, and that is what a career is all about. Making money is a sideshow in the end, whereas fulfilling one's purpose can be truly rewarding. So, to sum up, don't ever forget that doing what you enjoy is very important. The old adage, choose a job you love and never work another day in your life, is very true. And remember, the real value of any good is in its use, its utility, not its ownership. In fact, I personally would much prefer to enjoy a drive around town in a fancy car any day than to own one. And finally, strive to discover your purpose in life, and you will find a guiding force that is not only powerful in helping you make future choices about your career, but also will deliver you a great deal of satisfaction even through the ups and downs and numerous setbacks you will no doubt encounter throughout life. With that, to the class of 2012, I offer my heartiest congratulations and wish you every success in the future. Oh, and one final point. While the banking world is in turmoil and suffering numerous scandals, one thing is for sure: Singapore banks are just fine. And they also have a bright future. All three of them are great places to work, but OCBC is the best, of course. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you, Mr. Connor.
I'm sure all of us are inspired by Mr. Connor to go off and write our own adventures now. But, you know, I believe some of us are surely feeling a certain amount of trepidation on the threshold of our next chapter of life.
Well, fret not, because cliffhangers and suspense are all part of a good story. After all, didn't we feel like this too when we were just starting out in SMU? Don't remember anymore? Well, ladies and gentlemen, here's a reminder.
After early matriculation at the end of my NS, I was offered an opportunity to work at the Office of Undergraduate Admissions. This really opened my eyes to the amount of work that goes on behind the scenes every year.
My first point of contact with SMU were the camps. I was super excited to sign up for all the camps because I've always been a camp kind of person.
I went for 3 camps. All were very fun and different. My first impression came from my camp facilitators, who were super friendly and answered every question about SMU.
I was quite a gung-ho first-year student. I joined 5 orientation camps, did a pageant.
Everybody was very enthusiastic and classes were very lively and vibrant. My first friends were made during social science camp, and till today we're still friends.
My first class was technology and world change, and I remember feeling really lost and alone because I didn't know anyone in class.
I was very overwhelmed initially because the overall learning environment was much more intense and competitive.
I wasn't accustomed to participating frequently in class, and I suddenly felt like I had to manage my own time.
My first class was in LTB. I was working in a group of 10 people, brainstorming for a project that had to create sustainable value for society. And it had to be executed in just 8 weeks.
My first test was definitely a harrowing experience. Taking a Stats 101 exam 3 years after the A-levels is not fun at all.
My very first test was Stat 151 by Professor Dennis Leong in week 3. Scared the hell out of all the freshmen.
I had so much fun that my grades actually suffered during my first year.
I remember thinking bleakly to myself, the next 5 years will be very challenging.
Well, to be honest, I was filled with apprehension.
I was a bit lost.
Language and culture were big barriers. The first class was fun, but I had to struggle with class part.
Everything was very new to me, and all sorts of things were happening at the same time. But it was really fun to experience all these.
Singlish gave me quite some trouble, but being shameless, I keep trying. And I also made a lot of friends that also helped me a lot.
So despite all the fears and doubts that we had as freshmen, honestly, I think we turned out all right.
Yes, you know, Kaiman, sometimes I almost think I'm dreaming. Am I really graduating?
In fact, just to make sure that this is not a dream, let's invite our Dean of the Lee Kong Chian School of Business to tell us that it's really happening. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dean Professor Howard Thomas.
Well, let me just welcome the President, David Connor, distinguished guests, trustees, parents, and anybody else in the room that I haven't mentioned already. Thank you for coming here today, and my remarks will be relatively short. But I do want to add my congratulations to the graduates over there who, in the words of our first speaker today, Ed Lin, are graduating from the best business school in Asia, and one that is the most internationally minded, and the one that is trying to build a different reputation. And what echoes in my mind is the advice that David Connor gave me when I first became dean at the business school, when he said, there is something about the graduates of SMU relative to other graduates that he was faced with in his chief executive job that makes them different and distinctive. And I just want to echo the President's remarks when he says that we are a different university, and I think that those graduates who are about to come up to the stage in a minute will recognize that we believe that our degree is different, it's differentiated, and it's one that we are going to continue to build to make those graduates proud as alumni and to build a school that is ever better and, you know, at some stage, maybe not when I'm dean, will become the best business school in the world. But nevertheless, we would aspire to be a great business school, but also a different business school. I think I would just like also to add congratulations to the parents, the grandparents, the boyfriends, girlfriends, wives, husbands, whoever it may be. Congratulations to you because, as has already been said, sacrifices have been made by all of you to get the graduates to this position today. As the President and David alluded, the good news is that they're 100% probably off the payroll, and you can allow them to spend the money on you instead of you spending the money on them. So I think that's the good news part of today. What I'd like to do is just very briefly to tell you some remarks about the business school itself. We are trying to build a great business school, and I try and use the metaphor of my own upbringing. I was born in a mining valley in South Wales. And any of you who know where Wales is, it's the left-hand side of Britain that is the most gorgeous part of the world and God's own country. But nevertheless, it's a country which shares a passion for rugby football, probably second only to a country close to us, New Zealand. But rugby football is something I've spent a lot of my life doing, playing, and I would like to use the metaphor of a rugby team to describe exactly what we try and do in SMU. In my opinion, we have a great team. We have great faculty. We have a great staff, not just in the business school, but in the university as a whole, who seek to make the opportunity and the experience of the students here as wonderful as it possibly can be, and seek to continually refresh that program. What we try and do as a team is to recognize the differences and the abilities that are necessary in order to make that team the way it is, to recognize the quality of the faculty, but also to recognize the quality of every other single person who goes up to make the product that we give your students, which is the ability to go out in this world as students who exemplify the same values that we try and present, those values of determination, of discipline, of strong will, and of willingness to get on with things. So, in a way, what I'm trying to tell you is all of us who are sitting on the stage are truly proud of the business school we have here at LKCSB. As the President indicated, we're only 12 years old, but we are a really internationally competitive school. We have achieved, as a very young school, the two very best accreditations which attest to the quality of the business school. The first one from the Association to Advanced Collegiate Schools of Business International, which is headquartered in the United States, we achieved at the early part of last year. And at the second part of last year, we achieved the accreditation of the European Foundation for Management Development, which is called the EQUIS accreditation. In both cases, we were one of the youngest schools on record to achieve these accreditations, but more importantly, in the case of the EQUIS accreditation, we were awarded accreditation for a 5-year period, which is almost unheard of for a very young school. So I think that attests to the quality of what we're trying to do, but it doesn't make us complacent. It makes us want to achieve even more. So what I want to tell you is that we know, as I've indicated from the remarks I made about David, that from our employers, that our graduates are considered to be ethical, socially responsible, compassionate, and as you can see from the behavior of the two MCs, very enthusiastic. They also, I think, have a broad-based, holistic education, which is terribly important, and they are articulate, creative, and savvy. I just want to point out, the quality of the faculty simply because there are three elements that are important in the business school, and one of the ones that's tremendously important is the faculty. The facilities are another element, and the facilities in SMU are to die for in the position we are in the center of Singapore. But the faculty are a great faculty. And I just wanted to point out, in terms of research excellence, how far and fast we have come. We have come from a position only 12 years ago to, in the most recent survey of research in business schools, which is carried out in the United States and is the most commonly quoted one, which is done by the University of Texas at Dallas. In the last survey, we were, in terms of research excellence, number 3 in Asia and number 52 in the world. Now, in comparison with the business school that I was dean of before I came here, whose name I shall not mention, but was a British business school, there are 9 Asian schools in the top 100, only 2 British schools, one below us and one above us, but the one I was dean of was not in the top 100. So this is a tremendous achievement of a faculty which, just like the President and myself and all the other members of SMU, wishes to make this university, through its faculty and through the way we do things, one of the great business schools and one of the great universities of the Western world. And don't forget, the business school is embedded inside a management university. And a management university means that we're anchored in the social sciences, but we have available to us the strengths of all of the skills and important elements that go up to make a business education. So, good deans always sit down pretty quickly. So I'm going to do that fairly shortly. It may or may not mean that I'm a good dean, but nevertheless I'll try and follow tradition. But what I want to just say to you once more, to the graduates over there before you come up on the stage, can we offer you a round of applause from everybody in the room? But actually a much larger round of applause for everybody else in the auditorium, namely the people who protected you and enabled you and nurtured you to get to the position you are today. So as the President said, you're now our alumni, or shortly to be so, and our best ambassadors. And in true Welsh tradition, I want to tell you to work hard, but as David says, enjoy what you're doing. And in Welsh terms, and I'm just going to say 2 words in Welsh, good luck, pob lwc, and good health. Iechyd da chi. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dean.
Let us now welcome our Deputy Dean.
One day, as I'm leaving ISIS, I saw a gentleman asking direction to go to business school. So I accompanied him there. When we arrived, he passed me his name card, and he turned out to be the managerial partner of McKinsey Singapore, and he offered me an interview.
In my first ever term in SMU, I was so scared to participate in class, and I was in awe of all the seniors who seemed to be just like throwing up words of wisdom. And every time I had something I thought I could add on to the discussion, I would just nudge my senior friend next to me and be like, does this sound okay? Like, should I say this? Should I say this? I fell flat on my face in the middle of class, right in front of the professor, in finishing touch class.
The first embarrassing thing that happened to me was during my microeconomics class in year 1, when I actually raised my hand to ask the professor for permission to go to the toilet.
We organized Divala Football, which is Singapore's largest women futsal event. I was just 19. I had absolutely no idea how to organize such a huge event, but we did it.
One of the most meaningful experiences I've had was being part of the group of students who founded the SMU Chinese Orchestra. We started with only a handful of members, no instruments, and no place in school to practice.
When I first wanted to start Chinese Orchestra in SMU, everybody said it was impossible. But guess what? We made it!
I stood to run for president of Chao Vietnam. At first, not many friends supported me because they think that I look feminine, shy and quiet. However, I changed their mind.
I was the president of the SMU Myanmar Community Club, and I built a great team with my ESCO members. It was the toughest time of my life, yet the most fun.
I decided to continue my passion for hip-hop once I entered SMU. Even though many would argue that it's an extremely time-consuming process, it was perhaps the wisest choice I made in my life.
For this particular boring module, my crazy girlfriend said to make it fun by having a weekly dress code, so I was forced to buy clothes almost every week. It not only brightened up my wardrobe, but also showed me that a boring class can be something that you look forward to going every week when you have good friends. I love them. I remember queuing for all the freebies that Smoosa and Bondi would give out. I would always queue with my dance friends and we'd always be plotting the best ways to shorten our wait in line.
When I got my first rejection from a well-known company, I was very upset and wanted to cry. My project mate Gaia came over, put her arms around me and said very encouraging words. That's when I realized that although SMU is competitive, people still care for one another.
Let us now welcome our Deputy Dean, Brian Rodriguez, to present the undergraduate degrees, and our school reader, Associate Professor Michelle Lee.
Fang Yuan, magna cum laude. Gillian Lai. Chan Hui Lin, Sharon. Lim Junjie, magna cum laude. Lo Jianjun, cum laude, double degree, Bachelor of Business Management, Bachelor of Accountancy. Lo Jiewen, Andre. Lo Shuyi. Lo Zhenxiang, canon. Summa cum laude, double degree, Bachelor of Business Management, Bachelor of Science, Economics. Luk Jia-wen, Oliver. Lu Pui-yok, cum laude. Lao Jin-yang. Lo Mei-jin, Winnie. Lo Si-yi, Leroy. Lo Sun-heng, magna cum laude. Lo Wei-ping, Trinette, cum laude. Loy Chun-ming, magna cum laude, double degree, Bachelor of Business Management, Bachelor of Accountancy. Lu Jiahui. Lua Wenting. Luo Da-chuan. Luo Pei-yu, Frida. Luo Qing. Ma Ruiting. Manuel Michael Lim Elmira. May Mon Myo Nai, magna cum laude, double degree Bachelor of Accountancy, Bachelor of Business Management. May Wee Wan Ting. Maya Melidra, cum laude. Muhammad Nazmul Islam. Melissa Yenny Liman. Michelle Pick Huiwu. Muhammad Nazri bin Sazali. Muhammad Rais bin Muhammad Ismail, cum laude, double degree, Bachelor of Social Science, Bachelor of Business Management. Muhammad Amin bin Mokhtar. Muhammad Ilya bin Fazlon. Maitri Krishnan. Nadia Binti Abdul Rahman. Nan Titi Tun. Neo Jie Jessie. Neo Keeping Derek cum laude. Neo Yuan Shan. Ng Baoqi. Ng Cheng-en, cum laude. Ng Chong-hui Terence. Ng Hui Lan. Ng Hui Min Jessamine. Ng Hui King. Ng Jason. Ng Jianfen, cum laude. Ng Jieying. Ng Jingrong Robson, cum laude. Ng Kok An. Ng Pei Xiu. Pei Jing. Pei Shan Denise. Peter. Qingwei Freddie, summa cum laude. Xiao Quan, summa cum laude, winner of Monetary Authority of Singapore Academic Excellence Award. Shi Hui, Samantha. Shujin Judy, double degree Bachelor of Accountancy, Bachelor of Business Management. Wei Yun, cum laude. Wen Ling Samantha. Yi Kang Joel, summa cum laude. Zimin Lin. Nguyen Big Hack. Nguyen Ngọc Thich. Nguyen Thanh Thuy. Nguyen Thi Jiu Thang. Nguyen Thuy Phung. Nikita Kishore. Nico Alfred. Nirali Amul Suknis. Noor Amelia Binte Roman. Noor Ayin Binte Muhammad Yusuf. Wee Si Zi, cum laude. Olivia Griselda, magna cum laude. Ong Irene. Ong Pei Ting. Ong Shi Ling, Charlene. Ong Wei Ken. Wee Tong Si. Ong Pin Chien. Pakapan Meka Apirak, cum laude. Paul Ong Jia Hui, cum laude. Perlin Yap Jia Ling, cum laude. Pei Wei Ting, magna cum laude. Pham Thi Tu Hien, cum laude. Pham Vu Hyun Chang. Hans Sopektra. Hu Wei Ang. Pyo Wei Zo. Peng Hui Yi. Peng Jiemin, Jasmine. Ho Shu Xian. Ho Sijie Angeline. Ho Yingbin. Hun Hui Ting, cum laude. Priyal Agarwal. Hua Xuanyang, cum laude. Pinya Zhou. Qian Cheng Ye. Kwek Jiayin Karen. Kwek Shu Rong Serene, cum laude. Rachel Tae Yin Ping. Ray Sorab, summa cum laude, double degree, Bachelor of Science, Information Systems Management, Bachelor of Business Management. Raymond Adani Subianto, magna cum laude. Robert Gunawan. Rohan Gupta. Rosario Jean Claire. Rhea Sakchi. Sahimi bin Ahmad. Samantha Mak Yen Shan. Samantha Noel Guzman Alinea. Sandra Octavia. Sarah Tan Wei Lin, magna cum laude. Satoshini, daughter of Raja Manikam. Sia Ka Kien Reina. Xia Yu Xiu, cum laude. Si Pei Chuan. Si Wei Ren, magna cum laude. Si Yung Hong Jeremy. Si Zai Leong Eric, magna cum laude, double degree, Bachelor of Accountancy, Bachelor of Business Management. Seha Binte Yatim. Sir Dong Hyun. Syria Rusli, cum laude. Shah Rima Harish. Sharon Teo Ting Lai. Sheng Si Yun. Shi Heping. Sheng Wanting. Shou Xianjing. Shreya Jasmine Vora. Shruti Jain. Xiao Jieming, summa cum laude, double degree, Bachelor of Business Management, Bachelor of Accountancy. Sim Hui Si Stelicia, cum laude. Sim Qi Zi Cedric, cum laude. Sim Su Mei. Sim Xiao Han. Siti Muzalifa binte Muhammad Saleh. Siti Shahira binte Safian. Sito Jiahui. So Hui Shi Isabel, cum laude, double degree, Bachelor of Accountancy, Bachelor of Business Management. So Kai Wen. So Yin Na Edlin. Sandra Kim Yong Yun Yi, cum laude. Song Qing Yun. Sophia Lin Shu Fei, cum laude. Shruti Vijaya Raghavan. Su Hui Jin. Su Tet Ta. Subhash, son of Raja Manikam. Sam Shurong Cindy. Si Wei Lin. Tan Bun Ping, cum laude. Tan Bun Kiet. Tan Chang Yin. Tan Ching Wei. Tan Chu Ling. Tan Eun Hui Kazier. Tan Hyang Kia Janice. Tan Hui Ping Edlin. Tan Jiahui Dwayne, cum laude. Tan Jie-yi Serena. Tan Jianwei Edgar, magna cum laude. Tan Jianyang Burton. Tan Jingquan Jonathan, magna cum laude. Tan Jingmin. Tan Jit Kien Daryl, summa cum laude, double degree, Bachelor of Accountancy, Bachelor of Business Management. Tan Jo N. Tan Ken Lee. Tan Man Bing Jocelyn. Tan Mei Laura. Tan Pei Shi Trisha, cum laude. Tan Tianjing, magna cum laude, double degree, Bachelor of Science Economics, Bachelor of Business Management. Tan Seng Hong Joseph. Tan Shui Lin. Tan Sui San Melissa. Tan Si Hao Eugene, magna cum laude. Tan Wee Kiang, cum laude. Tan Wei Zhong Nelson. Tan Xuanze Xavier. Tan Xuexian Daphne. Tan Yanjun Melissa. Tan Yanling Kina. Tan Yanping. Tan Yanbin, magna cum laude. Tan Yanling Angeline, magna cum laude. Tan Yen Sun. Tan Yilin June. Tan Ying Qian. Tan Yongquan. Tan Yu Mei Kalesa, magna cum laude. Tan Zhe Ya, magna cum laude. Tan Zimian. Tan Zijun Jacqueline. Tan Viga. He Jinwei Marcus. He Kai Zhen. He Kian Kyung Melvin, summa cum laude, double degree, Bachelor of Business Management, Bachelor of Science, Economics. He Lian An. He Wei Long Aaron, magna cum laude. T Mong Ling. He Pei-ying Sherman, summa cum laude, double degree, Bachelor of Science, Economics, Bachelor of Business Management, winner of Economics Advisory Board Excellence Award. He Ting-wen Adria, magna cum laude, double degree, Bachelor of Business Management, Bachelor of Science, Economics. Ting Po Lee Julie. Teo Jen Ming, summa cum laude. Teo Su Lin. Teo Sui Ling. Teo Weijie, summa cum laude. Xiao Li Chong Adam. Tam Jun Wen Terence. Thi Ha Nyun, magna cum laude. Thierry Ang Mien Jai. To Liang Wei. Hong Eun Yu Gloria. To Seok Hui. Seng Mei Chen. Teo Shu Ting, magna cum laude, double degree, Bachelor of Business Management, Bachelor of Social Science. Jen Silin. Teng Zizhou. To Jialing. To Lei Ching Elaine, magna cum laude. To Shu Hui Lydia, cum laude. Zhang Tang Lun. Zhang Tang Lun, magna cum laude. Triana. Trudy Tan Kiet Yong. Tui Yong Hui Jonathan. Tung Hui Min Michelle. Valerie Ong Si Wei. Wong Di Tang Ven, cum laude. Wei Liang Min. Wei Mong Mong Tin, cum laude. Wan Abdul Rahman bin Abdul Latif. Wang Enjian. Wang Yang, cum laude. Wang Yi. Wang Yingning Jesslyn. Wang Zhaoyuan Florence. Wei Jiamin. Wei Shihan. Wendy Neo. Wing Jia Hao, summa cum laude, winner of Excellence Award in Actual Science major. Wang Jianhui, winner of SMU Circle Award. Wong Ka Ling, cum laude. Wong Ka Yuan Mark, summa cum laude, double degree, Bachelor of Business Management, Bachelor of Science, Economics. Wong Li Fang Clarissa, magna cum laude, double degree, Bachelor of Business Management, Bachelor of Science, Economics. Wong Min Hao. Wong Min Yu. Wang Shimin, Karen. Wang Yuzhen. Wu Damin, Danny, magna cum laude. Wu Kefei. Wu Qiong, cum laude. Yen Mei Sin, cum laude. Yang Xiaojing. Yang Xueyuan, Jacqueline. Yang Yan. Yang Yilin. Yap Wei-ling, Agnes. Yap Xiaoping. Ye Ted Ang. Ye Huijuan, Candice. Ye Huiqi, Esther, magna cum laude, double degree, Bachelor of Business Management, Bachelor of Accountancy. Yo Shireen. Yo Yong Yao, cum laude, double degree, Bachelor of Business Management, Bachelor of Science, Economics. Yo Hui Ling, cum laude. Yip Chu Wing, Vanessa. Yip Sok Wan. Yong Jia Min, Jasmine. Yong Li. Yo Julie, cum laude. Yo Yik Ka, cum laude. Zeleny So Ting Wei. Zheng Liwei. Zhen Zhen. Zhu Jiahui. Zhu Jing. Zin Ko Lai. Zita Setiawan.
Thank you, Deputy Dean Rodriguez and Associate Professor Lee. And congratulations, my friends. Now, in accordance with the age-old tradition dating back to the University of Bologna, let us now shift the tassel from our mortarboards from the right to left to signify our new status as graduates.
Let us do this on the count of 3. Sharon, are you ready?
More than ever.
1, 2, 3.
And congratulations to the class of 2012.
Class of 2012, each and every one of us has had a unique journey throughout these 4 to 5 years. No doubt, some versions are more exciting than others. Next up, we salute our peer with the most splendid story.
Every year, a school valedictorian is chosen as the top student of the school based on the most outstanding academic, leadership, and co-curricular achievements. This top individual best epitomizes the qualities and values of the school brand. The DBS Bank School of Business valedictorian for 2012 is Mr. Jack Moy, who graduates with a Bachelor of Business Management.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Jack Moy.
Mr. David Conner, President DeMeyer, Dean Thomas, distinguished guests, professors and faculty members, family and friends, a very good day to you. And hail to you, the graduates of the class of 2012. I'm humbled by the honor of representing you on this podium. Please allow me to begin by thanking DBS Bank for conferring this award on me, and Wilmar International for supporting my education. I would also like to thank my family for your love and support throughout my life. Mom and Dad, thank you for nurturing me over the past 24 years. It's about time I start supporting you instead. On behalf of the class of 2012, I would like to thank the following people. First, the professors for imparting your knowledge and sharing your experiences. We, the students of LKCSB, are like dwarfs who have gotten to stand on the shoulders of giants, seeing further than we could ever have imagined. In a big way, your sharing directed us towards what we really want to do in the next phase of our lives. Secondly, I would like to thank the various administrative officers of SMU who have been the lubricant that subtly but surely made our SMU journey smoother. To my friends at SMU, what wonderful company you have been these past years. From freshman camp to photo day, from project mates to fellow muggers in the library, everyone played their part in shaping what has been a most amazing SMU experience. So please stay in touch. It'll be fun to discover who will be the next star in Forbes, the Financial Times, or even YouTube. Let's applaud everyone around us for being part of our journey and for being here to celebrate our graduation. I'd like to share with you my story about how being at SMU has changed me. I'm sure it's just one of the many life-changing stories SMU has kindly given us. I stepped into SMU with a goal to fulfill 4 Gs. A good degree, graduate with a good career, with good money, and most importantly, I had to graduate with a good girlfriend. During my freshman days, honestly, I wanted to do well, but for myself. But a defining moment came in year 2. I was struggling to juggle schoolwork, my CCAs, SMUSA and BISCOM, and had to work part-time to alleviate challenging financial circumstances at home. That was when SMU awarded me the Wilmar Scholarship. That scholarship, from someone who wanted to lend me a helping hand so that I could pursue my dream to graduate from university and ask for nothing in return, really opened my eyes. With the financial help that came from the scholarship, I could now concentrate on my studies and all that came with being a SMU student. The scholarship changed not only my financial situation, but also my life and goals. It was no longer about me and my 4 Gs. I now had a desire to help others, especially those in circumstances similar to mine. After all, everyone deserves a chance for fulfilling SMU experience, should they work hard enough. With this new desire to help others, one of the first things I did was to gather together friends from the SMUSA Business Committee, BISCOM, who also wanted to make a difference in the lives of others. We set out to triple our profits through bazaars and events so that we could contribute to the SMU community in significant ways. It was a journey of friends where everyone tried their best to bring in profits to support welfare initiatives and entrepreneurial opportunities for our peers to trial their business ideas through bazaars. Most importantly, we founded the SMUSA BISCOM Student Life Awards, a by-student, for-student initiative that recognizes outstanding student leaders who are encountering financial challenges. The aim was to ultimately create a better SMU experience for the people around us. Seeing many of our award recipients now able to pursue their own dreams, to go on overseas exchange or to go on overseas community projects, filled us with a sense of satisfaction. I'm glad that the awards continue to be given out to deserving recipients annually. Most amazingly, through creating opportunities for others, we found that our own friendships grew closer, and we also developed into better, well-rounded leaders. The lesson to me was clear. it's possible to help people around us without losing out ourselves. This valuable lesson also changed what I look for in terms of a good career, my second G. It was no longer about the top pay or the good money that could come with it. I found myself wanting to be part of a company that existed to serve a greater good for a community. A company that wasn't just about profits, but one that was committed to grooming servant leaders. Unilever, the company I work for now, is just such that company. I leave SMU different than when I came as a freshman, and I learned a life-changing lesson. We can do well by doing good for the community. I sincerely hope that you too have discovered what the SMU difference means to you. Let us strive to leave a legacy, just as we have already done while at SMU. Similar to how the Olympic Games start today, after 4 years of hard work, our race has only just begun. The lessons we take from SMU can help us achieve all we possibly can. Oh, and just in case you're wondering what happened to my last G, I'm thrilled to tell you that I'm happily graduating today alongside my exceptionally wonderful girlfriend. Congratulations. Thank you. Congratulations, class of 2012. I wish you all the best in your every endeavor. Be good and do good. Thank you.
There's just so many amazing people that I've met. Professors, instructors, classmates, and CCA mates.
My econs orientation camp group mates, as well as some of my closer SMU friends like Christine and Zitian.
My best buddies from the Office of Student Life, Eileen, Kelly, and Wansit.
Ben and everybody else from Bellary.
Well, my permanent classmate Satoshi. We met completely by chance because there was no one left for me to group with. But since then, we've done so many mods together that we don't even need to discuss who does which part.
In criminal law class, I made a very good friend, Vidya, who's going to graduate together with me after 5 long years.
My soccer friends, Juliana, Hui Ying, and Claudia.
All the dancers in Density. Then my instructor, Claudine, my OSL manager, as well as my Strats group friends.
My SMU CO members, Professor Tan Yu Guan, and OSL staff.
My sister, my senior Ngọc Anh, always watch over me. My friends, housemate, and staff from OSL.
Well, a special mention to my girlfriend Felicia and my dearest EMIX dance mates Amanda, Beverly, Simin, Shufang, and Daniel.
My family in Laos, Amanda, and my best friend Christopher.
I'm very fortunate to have 3 other SMU students, Jiang Hao, Wang Yang, and Wang Yang as my roommates.
My best friends from Chamber Choir, Amanda and Abigail, and my career counselor, Vasanti.
My best friends, Anna and Abby, and my CCA friends from Choir and SMU BE.
My dance mates, my accounting group mates, my strategy group mates, and Prof. Kat Yuan.
Well, my fellow EXCO members from SMU Aquathlon, Xander, Ashley, Ben, and Brandon. My girlfriend, Yimei.
I really can't thank my psychology and corporate communication professors enough. And over the years, I've worked with a few of the OSL staff as well who have taught me a lot. And I've made the greatest friends at SMU who made peer pressure a positive phrase for me.
My friends from Caderas Latinas, especially those on the 6th EXCO with me. We made it, guys!
So Sharon, what are you going to be doing now that you're graduated?
I've actually started work in the exciting advertising industry and I'm pretty much loving every moment of it. What about you, Kaimin?
Well, I'm looking to go into broadcasting, but fingers crossed about that. But really, I'm wondering what all our other peers are up to right now.
I'm really not sure what's ahead of me right now.
Oh, nothing much will change. We'll all still be dancing together forever.
I've been accepted into the JD program at SMU to study law, so I'll still be here for the next 3 years.
There will be different challenges, such as the bar exam and legal practice. but I'm not so worried because I've spent the last 5 years preparing for this.
I'll be starting work at Khoo Teck Puat Hospital soon, using analytics and IT to improve the patient experience.
Hopefully still dancing whilst working as an analyst.
This time next year, I'll be at DBS in the Management Associate program, but I'll find a way to keep dancing so that I don't get fat by coming back to Intensity or IDNTA every week.
Well, I hope to get into the banking industry, but I'll definitely return to SMU to dance with EMIX.
I would like to continue my passion for the arts and also see SMU CEO flourish.
I'll be working as a business development executive at a Singapore startup company.
I hope next year I can be sitting in one of the alumni sessions and talking to new SMU students about my SMU experiences.
I'll be starting work as a marketing management trainee at Unilever, but not before going on a grad trip to Turkey with some of my Samba girlfriends.
I'll be working at Credit Suisse, private banking.
I'll join P&G and continue my passion for improving people's lives.
I'm going to do my master's in the UK, and after that, I'm hoping to find a job that will allow me to help people.
I'm not going to be an accountant. I'm going to manage a business. I'll be working in luxury retail for DFS.
Hopefully next time this year, I'll be really happy with my job and I'll keep in contact with all the friends I've made here.
Well, we may get a bit rounder, but I do believe that the bonds we've built will only get stronger because we'll miss each other more and more every day.
I'm thankful to have found a job in a well-known pharmaceutical company. It's hard to say what comes next, but I'm excited and looking forward to whatever's ahead.
Well, as we can see, everyone's got their grand plans and will be taking off in different directions. We wish them all the best.
It's extremely exciting, but at the same time, a little bit sad.
Sad? Why?
Well, it just occurred to me that this is probably the last time that our entire cohort will be together in this story. After this, we are all off to our different destinies and different careers in other tales.
Yes, Kaiman, I agree. I'll definitely miss all my friends and my professors. And I guess it just won't be the same again after today.
So although I know it's maudlin and perhaps a little sentimental to say so, I'll miss you guys. And I'll miss you, SMU.
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 I'll miss you, SMU.